mean, I love the island. I've been here previously in 2018 and 19, and the atmosphere is incredible. It's just fantastic.
Well, I think it's a fantastic. You're here with your team, obviously with Peter Hickman. I think he's got to be one of the calmest racers ever to stand on Glen Crutchery Road. Do you agree?
Yeah, he is very calm, and actually, I'm not too bad either. And I think you need to be very chilled and calm for everyone to kind of get that sort of feeling that they're not stressed or anything like that. So I think I think everyone works really well together. So we're just looking forward to this race.
Fantastic. I think you've absolutely got that right there, Faye. And I think it's back to you, Chris. You've got Dom Herbertson.
Certainly have, Maria. Thank you for that with Dom Herbertson. And well, I tell you what, you have actually gone to the mill with this bike. How much haven't you changed, or how much have you changed?
We're thinking of putting Derrily triangles in the front just to top it all off, you know what I mean? So we've changed earring, we've changed springs front and back, we've done absolutely everything here. So it's a lot shorter in the wheelbase. And normally around here, you want the length just to get the stability. But hey, in the great words of Del Boy, thee who risk nothing, achieve nothing.
He who dares wins.
That's so on, even better, yeah. Mixing up David Jeffries there with Del Boy. A little bit. Nerves are getting to me, Chris. Nerves are getting to me.
I don't know about that. You're saying about the BMW, the wheelbase of it. How much shorter is it than the older version?
It's actually like more of choice than anything. So it's a bit like, I think we've actually knocked off 20 mil. Now, any woman in the world will always be nodding agree with me here. But it's a case of, it's quite a fair bit of distance, to be fair. It's a fair bit of distance, and it's going to make a huge difference to the ride.
You think about the sidecar boys, they only have 35 mil of travel on their suspension, and you've knocked 3/4 of that off in one hit from the length of your bike.
Yeah, definitely, I know. But you see, it's mad. I was struggling to steer it in the first Superbike race, and I just thought, look, we've got to risk it. Well, not risk it. Risk it's the wrong term. We've got to give it a go, because if it doesn't work, the throttle works both ways, and I can pull in. But none of us here on the line are here to pull in, are we? It's once we get going, we get going.
All right, Dominic, good luck.
Cheers, mate.
Dominic Herbertson there. Maria has got Glen Irwin.
I have got Glen Irwin, and I haven't been able to speak to him all week, so this is actually a really good moment for me. And I want to congratulate you first, Glen, on becoming the fastest ever newcomer here. But how are you feeling now? So you've got a race under your belt. What does it feel like now?
Yeah, I feel a lot better here than what I did in day one, for sure. I was nervous now, but I get nervous before I race BSB, and I think the days where I'm not nervous, I don't race good, and that can happen now and again. Maybe not possible to happen here, but I'm really enjoying it. It's a 3-lap race. We've waited around all day, so I'm quite chilled. I'm not going out to try to do anything like the rest, like race one as well, the Superbike race. So it's more about where we are, the last lap of the senior, but it's more where we are in year 2 and 3, really, isn't it? So steady away. I've got quite a few mates in front of me here, so try to maybe catch up with Derek Sills and that, and the rest of the boys, and have a bit of fun.
Thank you so much, Glen. Let's go over to Chris.
Thank you very much, Maria. Going to grab a quick word with young Nathan Harrison. Well, Nathan, the start of another TT race. Let's go back to Saturday.
Yeah, blew all my expectations out the window. Didn't expect to obviously well up in my TT race, but I made up, ticked all the boxes really. I was more worried about trying to finish the 6th lap ever, because I've never done it. That was what my nerves were about, but nerves are kind of gone now. I want to go and enjoy these 3 laps. I actually quite enjoyed it, so I'm a bit gutted it's now under 3, but at least we're getting everything in today, and going to look forward to it. Just have 3 more laps of practice and enjoy it now.
How did you feel about it after the 6 laps, when you haven't done anything like that before? All the fitness training you've done over the build up to this, how did you feel?
Nothing prepares you for it like that anyway. You can do as much as you want, like you say, I was being non-stop in the gym and everything else, but nothing prepares you for that. I was fine, and then after a couple of hours, obviously, as you know, from my injuries and stuff, little things just started seizing up hour by hour. But no, Kath at Rex Physio got me sorted out yesterday, and I'm feeling fresh again today and ready to rock, even after doing 3 laps this morning on 600.
Don't forget about the pit stop, lap 1.
I know, yeah. I don't want to be going through there. I'll be getting a bollocking, won't I?
Good luck, Nate.
Thank you, and I'll remember the pit limiter as well.
Yeah. I wasn't going to mention that. Yeah, and apologies for the language here on Radio TT Live from the Grandstand. But again, Maria, just bring you in on this. This is the thing you're going to have to think about, because you'll have had your build-up and your mindset to this. Lap 2, I've got to go in, but now you've got to change everything round.
Yeah, for sure. I would be reminding myself at the start of that race that, making it clear in my head. I mean, I'm sure these boys are going to be fine. I know there was an issue in the Supersport race, wasn't there? One guy did miss his pit stop, and that means a black flag. You definitely don't want that happening in your race at the TT. You want to at least get a finish. So, yeah.
It's a big thing to think about. I think, remember, famously, I think I mentioned before about Philip McCallan doing it. I wonder how many guys will have their boards saying, as you come down out of signpost, for an example, or even coming out of the Craig, or something like just say, fuel.
Yeah, absolutely. This is where your team play a really important part. And that's going to be one of the things. I'm sure there'll be loads of people queuing up to put boards out down there.
I'm going to grab a quick word, if we can, before the start of the race. Stefano Bonetti's there. I need to start learning Italian. Tell you what I might do is try and teach Mikko Sweeney some Italian so you can speak to Stefano Bonetti. Mikko, all right?
Yeah, not too bad, Chris. Yeah, not
How's
too
the body?
Yeah, I'm all right. A little bit stiff after today, but I'm all right. Nothing to worry about.
Talk us through the big bike. How's that been, Superstock?
Yeah, it's been good. We've lapped quick on it the other night there. I think we done a 25.5. It's quick enough for me the other night after considering the week we had last week. Seems to be performing okay. We're struggling a little bit on when the tank gets light with fuel on the second lap. But luckily enough now we're going to have 2 laps of a full tank. So it'll be just the last lap. She might be a little bit ragged, but it'll be all right.
What are you struggling with when the weight goes down?
When the weight goes down, it just gets very, very, very light and just a lot of tank slap and just very nervous. It gets very nervous. So it's hard to justify to work with one thing. It'll work one way and won't work the other. So just have to go with the way it is.
Dominic Herbison was just saying he's taken 20 mil off the length of his.
Oh, yeah, we're running quite short of wheelbase as well. So
compared to the old BM, that's quite a lot, isn't it?
It is a massive difference. It's a massive difference. Just look, we were never here on one of the new BMs before, but the older one we knew where we were at with that. So still learning this bike here.
All right, Mikko, good luck.
Cheers, Chris.
Thank you very much. Quickly going to speak to Joey Thompson if I can before JT gets his helmet on. Young Joe, all right?
Yeah, you?
Mighty fine. Looking forward to this 3-lapper on the Wilson Craig bike.
Hey, we're at the TT riding for Wilson Craig Racing. Of course, I'm looking forward to it.
Your team, a bit of crack in this team, I bet.
Yeah, it's good. Great bunch of lads. Really enjoy being here. Can't wait to get set off on this big girl and see what we can do.
Good luck, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joey Thompson. Interesting, Marie. Where are you? There you go. About young Joey. People say, oh, he's not putting in the pace and stuff. That's the first time he's ridden a big bike around here, going from riding 600s, etc. So,
It's a big ask.
It is. It's a huge ask, yeah.
I mean, they were getting the laps in practice, but you still want everything to come together. And you can't deny. I mean, riding a big bike round here is something else. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you obviously you've done that.
I have done that.
Oh, you're like
but
me.
That's why I'm just on the Super Twin now.
Because you're concentrating on the sidecar as well. So that's the thoughts of some of the guys down here. And it is good to speak to some of the guys you don't normally get a chance to speak to less than 5 minutes ago before the start of this RL360 Superstock TT. Connor Cummins just doing a big interview for TV. Peter Hickman is in there as well. I don't know if we can see Peter at all. Can you see him at all, Maria? You're a bit taller than me. So you might know he's not there at the moment, but Davey Todd is here as well as Clive too. So Clive, and then we got number 7, Gary Johnson is here. Gaz is here. And maybe grab a quick word and Maria and Beth go under there. There you go, ladies. We're up 3 minutes to the start of this RL360 Superstock TT. And Maria or Beth. Beth is with Gary Johnson.
Gary, you always look so relaxed here on the sidelines. How are you feeling?
Looks can be deceiving then, can't they? No, I feel pretty calm. We've been struggling on this 1000cc bike. Obviously, I pulled it in the first race. Hoping I don't have to do the same in this one. I've got, safety first. If it ain't right, then I'll pull it in. If it is, then I'll be hoping to give it a good go.
So the game plan then really is just to get to the finish?
Well, no, I want to get to the finish as quick as possible. I'm not going out there for a Sunday afternoon ride, especially on a Wednesday. No, we're on Monday, aren't we? Jesus Christ. So, No, I'm hoping I go down Bray Hill, hope it sets off nicely, and then I can start piecing some laps together. A bit of riding rhythms coming to us a bit after that Super Sport race. So we're building throughout the week.
Gary, lovely to talk to you, and all the best for tonight.
Cheers, love.
Yeah, not too far away from the 2-minute board. There it is. There is the 2-minute board. Ian Hutchinson looking poised, ready to go on the Milwaukee bike, just looking at the bike. I'm just going to have a bit of a check because we're not sure, and we are going to check this when the tyre warmers come off, exactly what Dean Harrison is on. We need to know this information. So number 1 is John McGuinness. He's going to be leading the field away yet again. Gets a thumbs up from his guys, and he's about to start his 102nd TT. John, good luck with this one.
Cheers, mate. Hopefully we'll have a better run than this one.
Good night the other night before you in the VIP.
Yeah, it's great. It's amazing. Yeah, quite emotional. A lot of people turned up to congratulate me on my 100th year. So another hour of work now.
Good luck. Thank you very much to John McGuinness. Yeah, and there is Dean Harrison on the Dow Kawasaki. He gets his front wheel stand out and the rear stand out as well. John McGuinness throws the right leg over the Honda 5-blade, the 30th anniversary Honda 5-blade. As we go round to the front, let's give you what the board says. Course conditions good, visibility is excellent. We'll go to you in a second, Steve. 1 minute to go before the start of the RL360 Superstock. But I just want to check these tyres, what Dean is on. Actually, to be fair, we'll be able to find out when he stops in a second. Can't actually tell at the moment. Yeah, they are Metzelers. Steve Day, back to you.
Yeah, well, there we go. That was a change we understand that was made this morning. Number 2, then Dean Harrison and the Superstockers are out there on Metzelers. Let's see how that goes. But lining up number 1, of course, these Superstock bikes with the red backgrounds and the white numbers is John McGuinness, MBE, 102 starts to his name now. 47 podiums, of course, 23 victories. His last win in the Superstock class came in 2012, riding for Honda Racing UK. We're inching closer into the start of this one. Just over 10 seconds as we get ready now for 3 laps of the RL360 Superstock TT race. John McGuinness then is given the tap and he starts us off. Next up is number 2, Dean Harrison. 2 podiums and 2 races here so far. His 50th TT start coming up right now. He's away. Michael Rutter's next on the Bathams BMW. He's had to wait since Saturday. 80th TT start coming up for Mike. And he's off. Next up, number 4 on the Milwaukee BMW. 27 podiums, 16 wins. The last stock win, 2017 for Ian Hutchinson. Of course, we don't have number 5 not racing in this one, James Hillier. So next up is number 6, this morning's Supersport race winner, Michael Dunlop. 20 up now, 20 wins. And away he goes. That traditional start for him as well. Next up then we have Gary Johnson out there. 6 podiums and 2 wins in his career. Quinn has just spoke to him a moment ago. Number 8 is the first of the Padgett's boys. The 14th TT start for Davey Todd. 2nd in qualifying in Superstock leading into this. Then we have a small gap at number 9, of course, where Davo Johnson would have started. But next up is the Gas Monkey Garage FHO Racing BMW rider, Peter Hickman, the Superbike race winner here on Saturday. And he's off. The second of the Malenko by Padgett's Hondas, number 11, the Maxman, 10 podiums, his 65th start, Connor Cummins. Oh, not the best of starts initially off the line there from Connor, but he's off down Bray Hill. Jamie Coward, 6th in the Superbikes on Saturday. Could have been better were it not for the pit stops. He's away on his Yamaha. Lee Johnston was so impressive. It's his 40th TT start on Saturday. Unfortunately, he had to retire, but keep a beady eye on him. Big Phil Crow. Is it going to be the Crow Show? The 28th TT start for him. Next up, Sam West, 26th TT start. It has been a roller coaster a couple of weeks for Sam West. Kinner spoke to him earlier on. He's away now on his BMW. Oh, again, now a scrappy start. Didn't get away the best there, Sam. Don Herbertson, he was 10th in the Superbike race. He's gone now on his Hate Rich Energy BMW. Next up is number 17, the Irishman, Brian McCormack. FHO Racing, the Roadhouse Macau BMW. Oh, looked like there he almost missed a gear, I think, Brian McCormack. Derek Shields is up next, number 18, BMW Roadhouse Macau team. Sean Anderson was excellent on Saturday. The Crendon by Walt Suzuki rider, 9th in the Superbike race. Big Sean Anderson then, number 19, he's off. Craig Neve on the Jab Racing BMW will be looking for another top 15. He's been given the tap. We'll just get one more away and then we'll see where we're at into the first sector. Of course, it is the newcomer Glenn Irwin on the Honda. 8th on the Superbike race on Saturday, 129.84. And the newcomer is about to be given his tap. And off he goes, Chris Boyd.
Indeed, the leading rider's out into Ballacrane now. We can see Ian Hutchinson on the screen. He's already taken time out of Michael Rutter on the road. He's certainly not 10 seconds behind him on the run through Gorsley. We're going to have to wait possibly 2 minutes or so to get a leaderboard here. Our quickest men in qualifying were Peter Hickman riding at 10, Davey Todd at 8, Michael Dunlop at 6, Connor Cummins at 11, Lee Johnson at 13 and Jamie Coward at 12. So we're going to have to wait for 10, 11, 12 and 13 to come through before we can farm some kind of leaderboard on this particular RL360 Superstock TT.
In the meantime, Nathan Harrison, number 24, has just been set off. He's been sporting 28 most of the week, but he's a change. Sweeney's gone. Rob Hodson has just gone as well. Next up is Joey Thompson. We spoke to him a moment ago on the Wilson Craig Honda.
As we wait then for the leading riders to make it to Glen Helen, we can pick up John McGuinness. He's through. He's at Glen Helen, but we need to wait for lots more riders to come through. Harrison arrives, and he's already had 7.6 seconds out of John McGuinness on the run out to Glen Helen. Harrison away and up through Sarah's Cottage. We can see on the stream as we wait for the next riders, but really we're going to wait for those higher numbers to come through. Hickman and on from there before we formalise our leaderboard. Oh, Ian Hutchinson has nearly caught Michael Rutter by Glen Helen. He's no more than a second or so behind him as they run through Glen Helen.
The first 4 riders are through then. Dean Harrison for the moment is 2.7 clear of Hutchie, who's ahead on the road then effectively of John McGuinness and Michael Rutter. Not ahead on the road, but ahead at the moment through Glen Helen. Through now comes Michael Dunlop then. He's a second away from Dean Harrison. Dean Harrison leads from Michael Dunlop.
And Dunlop, of course, has clear road with no James Hillier ahead of him as we see Hutchinson go up the inside of Michael Rutter. And he's blasted past Rutter, so Hutchinson is clear of Michael Rutter and moving out. Looks like, yeah, he's done that on the Crunkabody straight and they're over the top.
Davey Todd leads through Glen Helen. Davey Todd, number 8. He's just putting a move on Gary Johnson already. He's a second clear of Dean Harrison, who in turn is a second clear of Michael Dunlop. Davey Todd looking to pick up the pieces after it went all wrong in the Superbike race on Saturday, and he looked really disappointed this morning in Supersport. Hickman's 4/10 clear of Davey Todd. Peter
really
Hickman, number 10.
Pushing it as well at the bottom. Sarah's Cottage really out wide line, carrying all the speed he can through the bottom of Glen Helen.
Let's just get Connor Cummins through. He slots into 5th place. So this is a quick rundown at Glen Helen at the moment. Hickman, 4/10 clear of Todd. Dean Harrison, a second behind Todd. Michael Dunlop, a second behind Harrison. Connor Cummins, a second behind Michael Dunlop. A pretty close start, I think it's fair to say. Mark Miller?
Yeah, Davey Todd's very comfortable on this bike, as we all know, and it's going to be a different group up there at the front than it was in the first race, the other day, because you're going to have Davey Todd mixing it up, and Michael Dunlop's also in a slouch on a Superstock.
Jamie Coward slots into 8th and Lee Johnston slots into 5th. This leaderboard continuing to change as we expected.
Phil Crow has just gone through into Glen Helen in 11th place, just behind Gary Johnson, but ahead of Michael Rutter. Jamie Coward was 8th, in between Hutchie and John McGuinness.
We've had what we think are most of the main contenders through Glen Helen now. So it's Hickman that leads Todd by 0.4 of a second. 1 second back from Todd to Harrison. Then just another second back from Harrison to Dunlop. Half a second back from Dunlop to Lee Johnston in 5th. And another half a second back to Connor Cummins in 6th. Then 0.4 of a second back to Ian Hutchinson. My, this is really close stuff. 1.8 seconds back from Hutchinson to Jamie Coward in 8th, and 1.25 seconds back to Dominic Herbertson, who now slots into 9th, ahead of John McGuinness, rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, just as they were going through Glen Helen as well, number 16, Dom Herbertson, was trying to find a way past Sam West, but he just looked like he was being held up slightly. Still in the top 10. He's not bad at all. Here is Dean Harrison then, through Balaf. Here he goes now, and John McGuinness will follow. John McGuinness through Balaf as well, but it's Michael Dunlop we need to keep an eye out for. Number 8 on the Malenko by Paget Honda as well. Davey Todd as we come through. Let's see what the gap is this time around. They're still at the finish line as well. That was Timothy Monod who's just managed to get away. Dean Harrison it is that leads from Ian Hutchinson. But here come the rest of them right now. Lovely stuff from Michael Rutter over Balaf.
Very airborne there, although he is conceding time to Hutchinson. Hutchinson has passed him on the road and is moving away from him as Michael Dunlop arrives at Balaf.
Michael Dunlop, number 6. bit sketchy here and there from Michael Dunlop. He's 1.3 down on Dean Harrison through Balaf. What about Davey Todd? He must be through on Gary Johnson already. He'll be next through to Balaf. He is, and he's 1.7 seconds clear on Dean Harrison through Balaf.
So now we wait for Hickman, starting at number 10 as we see Glen Irwin heading up through Sarah's Cottage. It's Hickman we're waiting for. He was our race leader at Glen Helen. What will it be? Here he is. He's into Balaf Bridge. He continues to lead.
Yeah, that's a good lead as well, Mark Miller. 3.6 seconds already.
Yeah, that's a healthy lead in such a short amount of time.
So Davey Todd then is second. Dean Harrison third. Dunlop fourth. Hutchie in Gary Johnson and McGuinness. Here comes Connor Cummins. He slots himself into fifth, just behind Michael Dunlop. Only 2/10 behind Michael Dunlop.
Peter Hickman pushing a 1:32 pace from the outset of this race. He's slap bang on a 1:32 pace to Balaf.
Nathan Harrison went through Glen Helen in 11th place, number 24. The Maxman Glen Irwin down in 16th for now.
As we catch leaders getting through Sulby, up through Sulby Bridge and away out towards the Ginger Hotel and then on to the really bumpy stuff on the run between there and Ramsey.
Just looking further down on the order then for those who went through Glen Helen, 13th, Sean Anderson, Craig Neave 15th, Glen Irwin, Derek Shields 17th, then Michael Sweeney, Paul Jordan 19th, McCormack follows, then Datzer, Rutter, Rob Hodson, Mike Brown and Michael Evans.
These are meant to be the closest match machines, the machines you can go and buy from the showroom and with minor modifications, and it shows in the leaderboard. They are just tenths of a second apart for these places. There's going to be a lot of position changes in this race.
Peter Hickman, 190.6 through the speed trap. That's Michael Dunlop second through there. 189.0.
And a lot of these riders, of course, are riding the same machine that they rode in Saturday's Superbike race. They can ride the Stocker in the Superbike and the Senior as well as this race. So a lot of them just have the one machine to do those three races. Of course, the top-end teams have a specialised Superbike. But really, in terms of riding it, a Stocker is easier to get settled for the roads.
Yes and no. It kind of depends on who you talk to and what circuit it is. You have a lot more G-forces accelerating and better brakes on the Superbikes. And the Superstock, a little maybe softer, but at the same time, you got to work pretty hard to go as fast. I mean, these guys are almost going as fast on both bikes, and there's a little power advantage on the Superbike, etc.
And Mark, as we see Dean Harrison making his way around Ramsey Hairpin now and McGuinness about to follow, what are the disadvantages of riding at this time of day?
There's very little disadvantage of riding at this time of day, but hats off, tip of the hat to Dean Harrison for being able to take on a challenge of changing something as important as tires right before the event. It's in some ways it could actually be enjoyable to see how well you could do on such a new thing, but it cannot be that easy. And ultimately, everybody wants the end result to be as great as they possibly can.
Top four riders then is 2.1 seconds down on Dean Harrison towards Ramsey as we now wait for Davey Todd. Todd has been just behind Peter Hickman thus far. We're waiting for him now. He should be any second making his way through and does. He's 2.4 seconds clear. Number 8 on the Malenko by Paget's Honda as he heads up towards the second gear hairpin. First gear for some as well. He's 2.4 seconds clear of Davey Todd. But what about Peter Hickman? He goes through. Oh, he's increased his advantage again, Mark Miller. It's up to 7.6. I'll spit that out again. 7.6 seconds clear of Davey Todd.
Boy, this is not looking great for the rest of the field, having almost 8 seconds at Ramsey on the very first lap. And now Peter's going to pull the trigger over the mountain, which he's, of course, so good at.
What are we looking at in terms of pace so far from a standing start, Boydie?
We are still right on that 132 mile an hour lap from a standing start. The lap record in the Superstock class is 134.4, so they're some way off that. But of course, this is a standing start lap, and we'll see where the rest of the race takes us. If Peter Hickman is this dominant this early, he might not need to push over the remainder of the race. But let's just see what happens as we revise the leaderboard at Ramsey Hairpin. Then Peter Hickman, number 10, leads. Number 8, Davey Todd by 7.6 seconds. Dean Harrison, number 2, is in third, 2.4 seconds back on Todd. Connor Cummins sits 0.6 of a second behind Harrison in fourth place. Up ahead, Michael Dunlop is 1.4 seconds further back in fifth. Lee Johnson rounds out the top 6, 1/10 of a second down on Dunlop. Then 7th to 10th of those through Ramsey are Jamie Coward, Ian Hutchinson, Phil Crow, and Gary Johnson.
Yeah, Connor Cummins has moved up ahead of Michael Dunlop, number 11, and he's hunting down Dean Harrison as well. As they got to Ramsey, he's only 6/10 of a second down on Dean Harrison. So at the next sector, we may well find that Connor Cummins has moved up into podium positions to join his teammate Davey Todd as we now head over towards the mountain section.
Yeah, we can see Peter Hickman's just come up through the Guthrie Memorial and is now heading on to the Mountain Mile. So Hickman, our race leader, absolutely flying and on his favourite part of the circuit. It's where he really won Saturday's Superbike race across the 6 laps. He took nearly 12 seconds out of Dean Harrison on Saturday on the 6 climbs of the mountain, and that really blew the race open, and he is on that favourite section right now. We'll wait for them to get to the bungalow where we will get the next time indication.
Just a quick note, number 55, Lucas Maurer, has retired at the bottom of Bray Hill. That's number 55. Maurer has retired at the bottom of Bray Hill. Dean Harrison is through the bungalow. Number 2 on his Dow Racing Kawasaki. These shots of the mountain, just so spectacular.
Yeah, it's amazing that the helicopter, of course, cannot keep up even with the Superstock machine. But, you know, we're looking at another real close battle for third. I mean, third through 6th place. There's nothing in it. What is it, 2.5 seconds from all of them, maybe 3?
Yeah, it does look like that at the moment. It seems as though Peter Hickman, at this early stage, on this opening lap, remember, they have to come in for a mandatory pit stop at the end of this first lap. Hickman, it seems as though he's in charge. Let's see what he increases his gap to. He's 2 seconds clear of Dunlop. Todd will be coming through there any second now. The gap between Hickman and Todd at the Ramsey hairpin was 7.6 seconds. But then, as Mark Miller says, very close for the rest of the podium positions. Glenn Irwin has just got up to the Ramsey hairpin as well. Oh, had to just sit it up again there.
Wideish line, just carrying a little bit too much speed into the hairpin, but he's safely away and up to the waterworks as Hickman arrives at the bungalow.
Yeah, fantastic stuff from him. Hickman, then it is 10.9 seconds clear of Davey Todd, number 8. Dean Harrison, 2.8 seconds adrift of Davey Todd. Dunlop then 2.5 seconds down. It is now only a 10th away from Dean Harrison's best through the bungalow as Dean Harrison exits Craig.
And Hickman has flown up the mountain as we expected. We're moving that lap projection up to 132.2 miles per hour from a standing start.
Looking back to the Ramsey hairpin, beyond the top 10. Phil Crow was 10th ahead of Sean Anderson. Nathan Harrison 12th. Craig Neven 13th. Gary Johnson 14th. And McGuinness in 15th place.
Looks like Michael Dunlop has caught them past Michael Rutter on the road as they come through Cattle Gate. You can see Dunlop there, yeah, pushing nicely. He's really pushing hard as they come down on the run down to Craig, and we'll get very in the breakings at Craig Nabar.
He's having a little look down then, wasn't he, Michael Dunlop, as he's gone through then on Michael Rutter, through Cronknamona, Dean Harrison. Those of you sitting in the grandstand, a reminder, you'll see the number board all the way around the outside. Number 2 is lit up white. That is your indicator that Cronknamona, that means Dean Harrison's there. And of course, they'll be coming into pit lane shortly, and we'll be passing down to Chris Kinley. Through Craig comes Peter Hickman then, your current race leader.
It won't be long, therefore, before we get the split at Cronknamona to see has he increased that lead again, all the way around at Bungalow. It's 10.9 seconds from Davey Todd, then 2.8 seconds back to Harrison, just a 10th of a second back to Connor Cummins, and 1 second back to Lee Johnson, and 1.3 seconds back to Dunlop. After that lead, there is just nothing between these places at all.
On to Glen Crutchery Road, then comes Dean Harrison. It's eyes right. There's the signal that he's coming into pit lane. Let's quickly cross down to Chris Kinley.
Yeah, the big sign goes up that says fuel for Dean Harrison. He comes towards the old stop box, bounces the Dow Racing machine into there. He crosses the beam at a 17 minutes 25.5, 129.91. We'll go quickly back to Cronknamona, and the gap for Hickman, it's 12.159 through Cronknamona. So 10 Hickman leads David Todd by 12.159 seconds, and further back in third place, 7 seconds back, is Michael Dunlop. Couple more riders here, the klaxon go in the background, no rear tyre changes. John McGuinness set in. John's lap is 125.905, and Dean Harrison on the Dow Racing Kawasaki is in and out as number 4. Ian Hutchinson through 128.634 number 4 BMW S1000RR, and here is number 6 Michael Dunlop out of third. What's Michael done that time? 129.668. Here's 3 Rotter as his friend McGuinness leaves. We're waiting for 10 next. It will be Peter Hickman, shouldn't be too far away, or maybe David Todd next, but here's David Todd. David Todd, well, it's 130.592 for David Todd as Ian Hutchinson leaves, and here's Hickey, and across the line, what's the lead? 12.783, 132.717 for Hickman. Let's run down it then. Grandstand. Hickman 10 leads by 12.7 seconds. We got Michael Rutter just about to leave on the Batham's machine. That's from Davy Todd, number 8. Number 2, Dean Harrison, 5.4 back off Davy Todd. Then number 6, Michael Dunlop, 2.001 back off Harrison. We're going to wait for Connor yet. Connor's up to third. Connor's in. Well done, Connor. Connor's up to third place, 3 seconds back. So Connor Cummins, his lap that time. What was Connor's lap? 130.214. Connor has with the big tall marksman, has got himself up there, looking at the pit stop times. What have we got for you there? Well, the speed traps I've got there. Let's give you the pit stop times. Hickman, 38.5. Davy Todd, 36.5. Harrison, 38.2 as Lee Johnson comes in. Then number 6, Dunlop, 35.9. Hutchinson, 34.1. McGuinness, 33.37. As we have Gary Johnson, number 7, leave. And there Connor leaves now. What was Connor's pit stop time? We'll get that for you in a second or two, hopefully. Haven't got that, unfortunately, at the moment to hand, but there we go. Who's in now? Lee Johnson is slightly with his leg off the bike, as we have number 12 in, Jamie Coward. Where does Jamie slot up? 41.2, that's a pretty good one. 10, 8, 11, your top 3, then it's 13, 2, 6, 12, Jamie Coward on the number 12 machine in 7th, then it's 4, Hutchinson, 14, Crow, and 1, McGuinness. They're your top 10 so far, lap 1, but we still have riders coming in. There's Dom Herbertson. Where does Dom slot in? Dom slotted into 9th place on the number 16 bike, and he stops right in his pit now. Fran and the guys get working hard on that bike. So we have number 16 and 14 in here at the moment. So the lead for Hickman after the left of the pit, Steve Day, 12.783 seconds, with Connor Cummins 3 seconds back.
Boydie.
Just out of the pits, 2 seconds the Todd has taken out of Hickman's lead. That lead will be down to about 10.7 seconds, but up to third will be Lee John. He's had a really quick pit stop at 39.1. He's taken 2 seconds out of Connor Cummins in the pit stop. So Lee Johnson up to third, Connor Cummins down to 4th, then Dean Harrison and Michael Dunlop.
Yeah, and it looks like Lee Johnston there has just gone through on Jamie Coward as well, through Braddon Bridge. So Peter Hickman it is that leads. Once we get to Glen Helen, we'll have an idea of how this all changes around. Beyond Peter Hickman, who's 12.7 seconds clear at the grandstand, it really is so close between Davy Todd, Connor Cummins, Lee Johnston, Dean Harrison, Dunlop, Coward, and Ian Hutchinson.
This is going to be a great race right to the end. We've got a barn burner.
Absolutely. Let's just give you those lap 1 times then, just while we will get the guys out to Glen Helen and get the revived leaderboard out of the pit stops. Peter Hickman, the fastest on lap 1, 132.217, 17 minutes and 7.3. Davy Todd in second, 1720.097, 130.592. Connor Cummins in third, coming into the pits, 130.214, 17 minutes 23.1, and Lee Johnston 130.2, 17:23.2. 4 laps at over 130 miles an hour.
Back down to you, Kinnes.
Yeah, Nathan Harrison just in on the number 24 machine. He's in 13th place at the moment. We've got 25, Mick O'Sweeney. He slots into 19th as they go across the line. And 23, Stefano Bonetti in 21st. And Glenn Irwin just across the transponder there now. Going quite tame, to be fair, is Glenn Irwin. Could this be a retirement for the number 22 bike? And we got this guy in a big change up, wasn't it? Let's have a little look, see if that has changed. It's Rob Hodson who's just come in. Rob's in 20th position. And who else have we got in there now? With just to mention, Sam West as well. Sam West still going strong. Stefano Bonetti just stalls the machine. The one pit person is allowed to give him a push. There you go. She fires up for Stefano. Back to you, boys.
Glenn Irwin, it's looking like he's going to retire. He's off the bike already. Not sure what's happened there, but it was that sort of gesticulating that the bike wasn't handling well. Harrison is through Glen Helen. Quick reminder, just for you on some other updates. Timothy Monod, number 49, had a fall at Sulby Bridge. Rider okay. Over at Parliament Square, number 43, David Jackson has stopped. Whew, get your breath back. Okay.
Leading three are through Glen Helen as we start to get this leaderboard forming. Dean Harrison, Ian Hutchinson and John McGuinness, and now Michael Dunlop, all through Glen Helen. We'll wait for Davy Todd and Peter Hickman and Connor Cummins, Lee Johnston as well. They were our top four at the grandstand, so we've got to wait for 10, 8, 11 and 13 to get through Glen Helen before we can form a leaderboard, as that looks like, it's Davy Todd going up the inside of Michael Rutter into Sarah's cottage.
Yeah, been given plenty of room there, wasn't he, as well? Peter Hickman is through Glen Helen. The gap there between Hickman and Todd is 9.5 seconds. So Hickman leads Todd by 9.5. Davy Todd second at the moment. Dean Harrison third. But of course, we've got Connor Cummins and Lee Johnston to wait for here. And Jamie Coward.
Yeah, Jamie Coward holding on to seventh at the end of the opening lap. At the end of the opening lap, it was Hickman, Todd, Cummins, Johnston, Harrison were your top 5. 6 to 10 were Dunlop, Coward, Hutchinson, Herbertson and Anderson.
Cummins slots into fourth place behind Dean Harrison. He's 1.4 down. So he's lost a bit of time there to Dean Harrison and the Dow Kawasaki team.
And now we wait for Lee Johnston, who should be the next rider, into Glen Helen. Hickman shows us leading Davy Todd at the moment by 9.5. Lee Johnston drops down to 5th. So Dean Harrison in 3rd, 6.5 seconds down on Davy Todd. Then Connor Cummins, 1.5 seconds down on Harrison. Lee Johnston just 1/10 of a second down on Connor Cummins in 5th. And Michael Dunlop 2 seconds further back in 6th.
Just seeing here, number 36, Richard Wilson, just coming into pit lane as well. More changes happening at the moment. Shortly, we'll get Dean Harrison through Balaf as we're now looking at replays on Connor Cummins.
Ooh, bouncing away at the bottom of Craig Willie's Hill on the run out of Glen Helen up towards Sarah's cottage. She was bouncing away on the rear suspension there, Mark. It's okay. We have a retirement at...
Yeah, we've got Gary Johnson has unfortunately retired, and same for James Hyde.
So 2 of our runners missing then. Unfortunately, same for Gary Johnson. He's out. James Hyde retiring in the pits, we're hearing. As Dominic Herbertson slots into the top 10 as well. He holds on to 9th. So Glen Helen lap 2. Hickman, Todd, Harrison, Cummins and Johnson are your top 5. 6 to 10 is Dunlop, Coward, Hutchinson, Herbertson and McGuinness.
Over the jump then at Balaf for Dean Harrison, number 2. He comes through. He's the first rider into there. Now, can he hold on to 3rd spot? It is wide open. The battle for the podium places at the moment. Davy Todd through Glen Helen at about 5-6 seconds over Dean Harrison. 3rd at the moment, completely wide open. Can they do anything about Peter Hickman out front, though?
You don't think so at this stage. He seems to be in a fairly commanding position here, does Hickman, Mark? Hickman's in a commanding position.
Yeah, this is, they're not letting him just walk away with it, though, because he had originally brought out a very superior sectors, and now it's kind of, they're keeping him honest, to be honest.
Seeing some good replays there of Ian Hutchinson. He's gone through Balaf now as well. He's 11 seconds down on Michael Dunlop. Davy Todd then goes through. Dean Harrison's cut that gap to him. Todd is 5 seconds clear of Dean Harrison through Balaf as Peter Hickman goes through. 10.7. He has extended his advantage over Davy Todd, but not by a huge amount. Mark Parrott has retired at Sulby Bridge, just so you know.
So Hickman shows as leading Davy Todd by 10.7 seconds. Dean Harrison in 3rd, 5 seconds further back. We await the arrival of Connor Cummins, Lee Johnson and Jamie Coward before we can complete that top 6. So all 3 of those riders were in the top 6 based on the times at Glen Helen, as Connor Cummins is the next man into Balaf Bridge.
Yeah, we just saw Matt Stevenson, the mullet, exit pit lane. Xavier Denis is into the pits right now, number 51, 52. John O'Perry as well, just getting some fuel taken on right now. It's Hickman, Todd, Harrison, Cummins, Dunlop, Hutchie. But we've just got to wait for Jamie Coward to come through. And Lee Johnston is through on Coward. Lee Johnston then goes through into 5th place. He's 2 seconds down on Connor Cummins.
So I think that's a sector, Glen Helen to Balaf, where the top 6 have not changed. The order has finally maybe settled down. I'm sure it won't be for long, given how close this Superstock race is. Hickman leads at Balaf Bridge, 10.7 seconds up on Davy Todd. In 3rd place, Dean Harrison, 5 seconds down on Todd. Connor Cummins is 2.1 seconds down on Harrison. Lee Johnston, 2.1 seconds down on Cummins. Michael Dunlop, 1.6 seconds down on Lee Johnston. It's still very, very close in the bottom bottom end of that top six, Mark.
Yeah, it sure is, and especially for the podium. These guys are going to be fighting like crazy. If they can't win the thing, the second best is just to get on the box.
After the disappointment as well of what happened on Saturday here in the Superbike race, and this morning just a little off the boil, both Davey Todd and Connor Cummins sounded a little bit downbeat. This would be a magnificent boost for the Paget's team, wouldn't it? Davey Todd at the moment in place, Connor Cummins not far away from Dean Harrison. If they could get their boys on the podium, that would be much brighter.
I think if Davey Todd and Connor Cummins could both get on the podium, you're going to see Clive want to streak naked down the promenade tonight.
That's a bit strong. That's a bold statement there from Mark Miller, but you never know. Hey, at the moment, Davey Todd 5 seconds clear of Dean Harrison. Connor Cummins then just in behind. Dean Harrison is just through the Ramsey sector right now. You can flick it right down the gearbox and round Ramsey hairpin on his Dow Racing Kawasaki.
A nice line up the middle of the road for Dean Harrison out for his Stella Marison on the run into the hairpin. But credit to Davey Todd. We had that interview with him this morning where he said his head was a little bit scrambled after what had happened on Saturday. He's managed to get himself composed, rationalise what happened, and he is right in the thick of it with this race, Mark.
Yes, I'm going to throw it down to Maria Costello that's got Glenn Irwin with it.
In the pits here with Glenn Irwin. He's come back into the awning. We're just going to catch a quick word with him and find out what happened. Glenn, what's actually happened? Why have you ended up here?
As soon as I got to St. Ninian's, I had a weird feeling, like very unstable. Then I thought it felt like I had a front puncher that I didn't have. And the bike continued just to wallow, is the best way I could describe it, on a straight. And I'm not prepared. I don't think anyone's prepared to ride when the bike's like that here. I think it's why you see a lot of guys pulling in the pit sometimes. So yeah, I've joined the people that done that in my first race, and it's the right decision.
Yeah, it absolutely is, Glenn, and all part of the learning curve here, unfortunately, and not where you want to be, but you're in one piece, and that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much to Maria Costello. Thanks to Glenn Irwin. Peter Hickman's through Ramsey hairpin, 11.9 seconds clear on his Gas Monkey Garage FHO Racing BMW to Davey Todd. Dean Harrison is 4 seconds behind Todd. Connor Cummins just 0.7 of a second behind Dean Harrison in the battle for third place. Michael Dunlop not out of it either, Mark Miller. He's in fifth, 5 seconds down on Connor.
Yeah, every time they show Dean on the screen, he's really smooth. It looks like he's just hitting all his marks and not doing anything too crazy. Sometimes he rides really, really hard on that Kawasaki. And you see Connor Cummins, he's such a tall, lanky lad here from the Isle of Man, and he doesn't really get off the bike much. He just he's got that leverage just to kind of lean it down and stay almost square in the seat, and he still scrapes his knee.
And just going back to Glenn Irwin, have you ever been in that position where you've waited so long in the day to go out, then you've gone out and immediately you're just like, this bike doesn't feel right?
Yeah, actually several times. Around here, you race here for 11, 13 years like I did. There's several times when you're just not going to finish. And if you have a decision where you have to make it because there's something iffy, you cannot push something that's iffy. You've got to pull that trigger in. It's the hardest thing you can do because you've been working so hard to get to the point that where you just were. And to stop it's almost like, cutting yourself.
Lee Johnston has gone into Ramsey hairpin, into fifth place. He's just a 10th clear, Boydie, of Michael Dunlop.
It's still very, very close. As Michael Dunlop went round Ramsey hairpin, he took a big look backwards. He wouldn't have had to wait much longer. He couldn't see him because he wasn't quite in sight, but not much longer to see Davey Todd. It's possible that Todd catches Dunlop and then the tow starts. We also saw Lee Johnston was giving a tow to Jamie Coward. He passed Coward probably half a lap ago. Coward was literally sat in his slipstream all the way into the hairpin and out of it on up to the mountain.
Just quickly run down some of the names and runners after they got to the grandstand and made their pit stop. So in 9th place was Dom Herbertson. McGuinness was 10th, number 1. Number 14, Phil Crow was 11th. Number 3, Michael Rutter was 12th. Then Sean Anderson, number 19 in 13th. They had a Nathan Harrison, number 24. Craig Neve, number 20, was 15th. Brian McCormack was 16th, number 17. And Derek Shields, Michael Sweeney, and Paul Jordan and Rob Hodson all made up your top 20. That was at the grandstand, though.
Dean Harrison through the bungalow then on lap 2 as we await the other riders to come to fill out this leaderboard. Dean Harrison holding on to a podium place at the moment in 3rd, out there on his own as he has been in each of these races so far this week, doing his own thing out there on his own while lots of the others have traffic to contend with, Mark.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty easy to be out front and just doing your own thing and hitting everything. But, traffic can be kind of fun too. It's just not fast. That's the only problem. Is it's kind of fun to ride around other riders around here, but you can't see that well, and it's also, it's just not as productive as just what Peter's doing, which is just out there on his own, doing exactly what. And he's setting the pace now. He's pacing himself. He's not going as fast as he possibly can.
Yeah, Peter Hickman, 14.4 seconds clear of Davy Todd at the bungalow. Let's just wait now for Connor Cummins and co. and see who's in third place. 5 seconds down on Davy Todd was Dean Harrison. Coming up towards the Craig again then is Dean. He's coming up to complete lap 2 of 3. Connor Cummins is third. Cummins has overtaken Dean Harrison then. Dean Harrison 1.2 seconds down on Connor Cummins. Right now then, the two Paget's boys are well placed in second and third. We'll get Lee Johnston's up for you in a moment. Kid, is there any news on anyone being a bit naughty in pit lane speed-wise?
Don't think so at the moment. Just had a quick look down to some of the various times, but no, I think everybody's okay at the moment. I watched Mikey Evans, because remember, he did it twice in the Superbike race on Saturday, not today, but through the speed trap this lap, boys. 191.245 for Michael Dunlop on the number 6 bike. Connor Cummins, number 11, 189.946. Lee Johnson, 189.03, and Ian Hutchinson, 187.662. Nothing to report yet.
Three riders coming in towards the Craig here, all with so much experience. Look at that lot. Hutchie, McGuinness and Michael Dunlop. There's a treat for you all. As we now look at Nathan Harrison, number 24, about to head into the Ramsey hairpin. He was in the top 12 just as he just about gets the bike stopped through into Ramsey. Through Crunk Namona then is Dean Harrison. He'll be flying past us here in the grandstand on Glen Crutchery Road at some point soon. And then we'll get our lap times in. Of course, it'll be the final lap, really, where we'll be keeping an eye on the fastest laps of the race. But at the moment, it is 14 seconds, the lead for Peter Hickman ahead of Davy Todd at the bungalow.
Indeed, at the bungalow, Hickman leads by 14.4 seconds from David Todd. Then Connor Cummins is 4 seconds back on Todd. Harrison, 1.2 seconds back on Cummins. Lee Johnson, 6.4 seconds back on Harrison, and Michael Dunlop next.
Here's Dean Harrison. Dean Harrison crosses the line, but we're going to see three legends here all coming down Glen Crutchery Road together. Ian Hutchinson, John McGuinness and Michael Dunlop will all be together. Michael Dunlop has been catching this group. We'll be seeing them any second now. In fact, we've got eyes on the screen right now. It is Hutchie. They're in the nook. It is McGuinness then just behind, and Michael Dunlop will be looking to get some slipstream. They're going to flick it around Governor's Dip, and they are literally separated by a bike length or two. They're onto Glen Crutchery now, so keep your eyes right and look for these three legends all together. Second, third and fourth on the road. Here they come. And Dunlop here is going around the outside as they head down Bray Hill. We've got helicopter shots of them as well. Over Aggo's Leap, they will go shortly as well. Michael Dunlop, though, thought better of it, Mark Miller.
Yeah, there's a little hedge that sticks out there right where Dunlop was taking a peek around McGuinness. He's like, oh, dude, I was looking at that going, you're not going to be able to stay there.
Michael Dunlop, can he get through into Quarterbridge? No, it doesn't look like he's going to at this moment in time. Peter Hickman, in the meantime, is he going to have a look? We're looking at this image of through Quarterbridge. It's still Hutchie ahead there. Peter Hickman, it is the lead from Davy Todd over the line. 15.9 seconds. Dean Harrison in third. Connor Cummins crosses the line, though, and pinches third back. He's 2.9 seconds clear of Dean Harrison.
Meantime, Dunlop is still trying to get past John McGuinness. They're into Braddon Bridge, and he still hasn't done this. Hutchinson still leads this gaggle, and Dunlop is still at the back. He cannot get past John McGuinness. This is costing him time.
Yeah, costing him a huge amount of time at the moment, Michael Dunlop, if he wants to try and pick up his third podium in 3 races. Coming over the line now is Lee Johnston and Jamie Coward. Lee Johnston goes into 5th place, Jamie Coward in 7th. Just starting to spread out a touch in this battle for the final podium places, but Michael Dunlop cannot afford to stay behind McGuinness. Let's see if he can make his way through now.
He's trying a pass again as they, where are they? On the run out to Union Mills, perhaps it is. But Yes, he's passed him. He has passed him on what looks like the Ballahutchin, on the run up the Ballahutchin past the campsite. So it is now, Dunlop. He's now got to get past Hutchinson, of course. So he's got past McGuinness, and he's very quickly closing on Hutchinson. Oh, Hutchinson's front wheel paws the air as they go through Ballascary. Dunlop's trying a line down the inside to see if he can get past him into the left-hander at Crosby. But no, he has to back out of it. Hutchinson continues to just hold him off for the moment. But somewhere Dunlop is going to reprogram and try again, no doubt about it. In fact, there it was. It looked like he was trying to have a go up over over the hill at Crosby. But we just lose the feed for a moment, so not sure has Dunlop managed to make that pass stick. He'll hope he has, because the leaderboard at the end of lap 2 shows Peter Hickman leading by 15.9 seconds from Davy Todd. Connor Cummins only 3.2 seconds back on his teammate Todd. Dean Harrison only 2.9 seconds back on Cummins. Lee Johnston 5.7 seconds back on Harrison. And Michael Dunlop rounding out the top 6 and stuck in that traffic at 1.8 seconds down on Lee Johnston. 7th to 10th, Jamie Coward, Ian Hutchinson, Dominic Herbertson and John McGuinness.
We just got pictures here of Lee Johnston through Braddon Bridge ahead of Jamie Coward. A moment ago, down in front of us in the grandstand, Phil Crow went by with Dominic Herbertson in pursuit. Dunlop is through on Ian Hutchinson.
Through and away, as there are a bunch of riders there, including Davy Todd, who's now catching up with both John McGuinness and Ian Hutchinson. And Peter Hickman is not far off the back of those either. So they're both going to have to contend with that same traffic.
Yeah, you need to be keeping your eyes on that as they make their way round. Michael Dunlop then is through on Hutchie. He's through on McGuinness. And now to face those two, Davy Todd and also Peter Hickman.
Yeah, all the riders are going to be on the lighter fuel loads for this race now, going around the second lap. They're going to have a little bit of tire wear, but I think they're all, warmed up in the groove, even if the tires are moving around a little bit. That's sometimes to have a little bit more feel than less. A little bit of tire wear is not always the worst thing.
Glenn Helen, Dean Harrison is through on his Dow Racing Kawasaki. We're going to get a bundle of them all through together in a moment as well. On our screens at the moment, approaching Braddon Bridge is Sean Anderson, number 19, and 17, that's Brian McCormack. But we're just waiting now for Michael Dunlop. Oh dear, what's happened here? Lee Johnston, is it another retirement for Lee? He was in 4th in the Superbike race on Saturday, and Lee Johnston on his Ashcourt BMW has got his arm up and he's pulling over to one side, and it's looking like a retirement, Boydie.
Yeah, at Glendarroch Road in Glenvine, Lee Johnston's race looks to be run. So that will be one of our top 6 men gone as Michael Dunlop makes his way up through Glen Helen up to Sarah's cottage, and we continue to just wait for some of these other riders to come through to complete our top 6.
Peter Hickman, how's he looking on this final on this next run through, this final lap that he's beginning? Peter Hickman, as he comes through, he is 16.5 seconds ahead of Davy Todd, with Dean Harrison there in 3rd.
Peter Hickman's Glen Helen to Glen Helen, lap 2 into lap 3, 132.5 miles an hour.
Connor Cummins in 3rd place. That's close. Connor Cummins has closed the gap on his teammate Davy Todd. He's only 0.8 of a second down now on Davy. In 4th is Dean Harrison, number 2. He's 4 seconds behind Connor Cummins. Michael Dunlop is 9 seconds behind Dean Harrison. So at the moment, it's looking like Hickman's to lose out front. He's got a massive advantage of 16.5 seconds. But it's Todd and Cummins separated by just under 9/10 in 2nd and 3rd.
And it's Connor Cummins, the man that we're watching. He set a purple sector, so the fastest of the race on the run out to Glen Helen. Cummins, the bike is really coming to him, and he's only 0.8 of a second down on his teammate Davy Todd in this battle for 2nd place.
Connor Cummins has never had a 131 mile an hour lap in the stock class before. That could be changing right here, Mark.
Yeah, the Honda's working very, very well, and they're going to be on fairly equal equipment. So it's kind of, you got a little bit more experience with Connor. You got the youth and exuberance with Davey. So this will be in probably close to the very end.
So the top 3 then have all made it through Glen Helen. As we go down the order at the grandstand and just see Sean Anderson's 11th ahead of Crow, Nathan Harrison 13th, Michael Rutter 14th, Neve in 15th, McCormack 16th. We've still got a number of riders to come past the grandstand here. Peter Hickman, though, it is that's in control. Well on course here for win number 2 of the week at the 2022 Isle of Man TT races, fueled by Monster Energy.
Indeed. So as we look at Glen Helen on what we have so far, we have Peter Hickman leading by 15.5 from Davy Todd. Connor Cummins third, just those 0.8 of a second down on Todd, and a real battle to watch as Harrison makes it to Balaf. Dean Harrison in 4.2 seconds down on Cummins. Michael Dunlop 5th, and again he's 9.8 seconds now down on Harrison. Jamie Coward a further 9 seconds down on Dunlop in 6th, then 7 to 10 Hutchinson, Herbertson, McGuinness and Crow.
Dean Harrison has been on the podium in all of his solo races so far. Is he going to do it again? He's been in second place in the Superbike, second in the Supersport this morning, but he's got work to do if he wants to find his way back on the podium now, Mark.
Yeah, he's got 4 seconds to make up. Excuse me. And that's not going to be terribly easy to do, but I'm sure he's happy with all things considered. He's put in a really valiant effort.
He certainly has. He'll be getting the information on his pit board as well. This is going to be a close one in the battle for second and third. Clive Paget will be keeping everything crossed that things stay similar. I'm sure he doesn't mind which order his boys come home, but if they can stay in second and third, he'll be a very happy guy. There is Davey Todd. He's through on Ian Hutchinson, McGuinness, and Peter Hickman's coming as well now through Balaf.
Hickman is right behind McGuinness, and then Hutchinson. He's got to get past the traffic. Davey Todd has done that. It might have an impact on the sector time. We're waiting for Connor Cummins to arrive to see what the position is between him and his teammate Davey Todd. He should be the next man into Balaf.
Yeah, the good news for Cummins is I don't think he's going to have to deal with some of that traffic. We'll find out now. Here he is on his own. He comes through. He's into second. Connor Cummins has gone up into second place, the marksman. He's 2.6 seconds clear of Davey Todd.
Yeah, Todd caught behind that traffic, and that's cost him big time, Mark.
Yeah, it did look like it cost him a little bit of time, and I just saw Connor Cummins on the monitor go over Bluff Bridge, and he went a very smooth, very high, very fast jump. He's got his head down, it looked like.
Connor Cummins, of course, still without a TT victory. He's on the podium a couple of times when we were here last in 2019. But he looked a little bit despondent at the start of qualifying week last week. They didn't get the laps in, of course, if you remember. He had to stop at one point. They've had problems with the 600s, but now things are starting to come together. The Paget's team are working wonders. Coward is over Balaf. He goes through. He's in 6th place at the moment, 10 seconds down on Dunlop. So it's Hickman, 15 clear of Connor Cummins. Davey Todd in 3rd. Cummins is actually taking time out of everyone. What's his lap looking like at the moment, Boydie?
Yeah, it's quick. It's well over 1:32 pace out to Balaf. He's there in 7 minutes 19. The lap record for the Superstock race is 7:14 out to Balaf, 7:14 and a half. So he's a little bit outside that, about 5 seconds outside that, but he is the quickest rider out there on this lap.
Braddon Bridge. Sean Anderson is out at Braddon Bridge. Just so you know, that's the latest update there. So, Mark.
Davey Todd has definitely gapped the group that he had to go through, and it looks like he's going to be putting in this, the second, the final sectors of this lap over the mountain. I wouldn't doubt if he closes the gap to Connor.
Peter Hickman's now trying to get his way through on this group. His gap of 16-second lead was cut to 15. Cummins is second. Davey Todd third. Now he's free of this traffic. Can he try and chase down his teammate Cummins again? They're about to make their way onto the mountain.
Hickman in the same position as the others. He's making no progress getting past John McGuinness, and then he's got to get past Ian Hutchinson. He is sat behind both of those riders.
The problem is, Mark, they're not exactly slow riders to be getting past.
No, it's, they might look like they're smooth, but I guarantee you try to outbrake one of those guys. You're like, yeah, that's not too easy, is it?
Around the Ramsey hairpin we go for Dean Harrison. He's first through there. We've got our eyes on the cameras. Peter Hickman is trying to find his way through. Is he going to make it? It looks like he is. He's through.
Yeah, he's taken both of them by the looks of it. So John McGuinness and Ian Hutchinson cleared, and he's now chasing down Davey Todd.
So Davey Todd, he'll know that Davey Todd is in a good podium position. And Peter Hickman then in a pretty good spot now. He's got through on those guys on his Gas Monkey Garage FHO Racing BMW.
Indeed, just the run over from Ramsey. One more run over the mountain back for Peter Hickman to what would be a second TT win of the week if he can manage it as Michael Dunlop arrives at the hairpin.
In control, Hickman, 18.1 up on Davey Todd. The next rider we need to look out for, though, is Connor Cummins. He was second at Balaf. Here's Hickman, Hutchie, and John McGuinness all rounding Ramsey hairpin, and onto the waterworks they go.
All eyes then on the screens for the arrival of Connor Cummins. There we are.
Oh, he's doing that. He's eating into the lead of Peter Hickman. I mean, it might not be enough because they're going to go on the mountain, but Connor Cummins is on the move. It was a 15.7 second lead for Hickman. It's 11.4 now. Peter Hickman, and Connor Cummins is now 6.6 seconds clear of Davy Todd.
Yeah, that's really pushed on that run from Balafru to Ramsey. He's opened that advantage right out over his teammate Todd. Dean Harrison continues to sit in fourth, just 2.8 seconds back on Todd now. So Harrison is coming back at Todd as well. And then it's 11 seconds back to Michael Dunlop in fifth, and a further 28 seconds back from there to Ian Hutchinson in sixth. But we still await the arrival of Jamie Coward to complete. In fact, Jamie Coward arrives and slots into that sixth place behind Michael Dunlop.
Do you think that the gap there for Connor, it's a combination of the fact that Connor's not got any traffic, he's going really well, he's in his rhythm, and Hickman just had that traffic?
I think it also has to do with the sections. They just went through some of the bumpiest bits on the course. You know, Connor's going to hold that thing wide open, sit back on the seat, and just let that thing float. Davey has mentioned a little bit of lack of confidence in the total package at this point. So, but we could see a little bit of difference over the mountain. But I think what you saw there is a lot of experience in the overall setup and the technique and the body size of Connor.
Peter Hickman then it is at the moment. He's 11.4 clear. Connor Cummins then in second place at this moment in time. With Davy Todd in third and Dean Harrison in fourth. Fifth place for Michael Dunlop right now as they get themselves on the approach to the bungalow.
Indeed, and Hickman is still closing on Davy Todd as they go across the mountain. We can see Hickman closing up on Todd.
Waiting for the times to come up at the moment. It was a big gap, 15.7 through the Balaf. Cut down. Dean Harrison's just come through the bungalow as we speak. Here is Dom Herbertson, who has gone through on Phil Crow as he approaches Ramsey. 8th place for Dom Herbertson. Good effort this on his Hayth Rich Energy BMW. Phil Crow trying to keep the tabs on him. McGuinness at the moment is 9th at the moment through Ramsey ahead of Phil Crow. So here come the big group. This is what we want to see. Hickman is reeling in Todd. Hickman is reeling in Davy Todd on the road. And this is the crucial section for Peter Hickman. This is where he feels at home. This is where he feels most comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. If he gets through the bungalow, then he just has to bring it home those final few miles down to the TT Grandstand to claim another TT win. We can see Dean Harrison is still pushing on. Of course, he's now in a battle for those podium places. He's only 2.8 seconds down on Davy Todd at Ramsey Hairpin.
This is the gap that we want to see then. Hickman at the moment, 18.7 clear on Davy Todd, but here comes Connor Cummins in a moment. That's the rider who was on a charge over the last lap and a half. Connor Cummins will be coming through the bungalow any second now, and we'll see what that gap was. It was 11.4 seconds at Ramsey Hairpin between Peter Hickman and Connor Cummins. This is the last lap, and it stayed at 11, but it's 11.1 now. Still Peter Hickman in control, but still a good lap from Connor Cummins as Dean Harrison for the final time makes it through Craig. Give him a big round of applause for all of you there at the Craig. Dean Harrison at the moment is in fourth place. He's got 4.9 seconds to find if he wants to make it onto the podium ahead of Davy Todd.
Connor Cummins is on the fastest lap of the race pace. He's on 132.5 mile an hour pace to the bungalow.
That would be easily his best ever lap in the Superstock class of his entire life. And what a time to do it on the Malenko by Padgett's Honda. Davy Todd is at the moment in line. Let's not forget, Davy Todd yet to find his way onto a TT podium. Here he is, Davy Todd then, with Peter Hickman right on his tail.
Yeah, Peter Hickman had a quick look up the inside on the run round the 33rd, but then thought better of it and just backed out. But they are catching Michael Dunlop as well, all three of them on the run down to the Craig as Peter Hickman moves out to the right-hand side of the road and tries to outdo Todd on the braking. He's coming
He's
back.
going to have a look. He's going up the inside of the Craig. Peter Hickman. Wow. Peter Hickman, if he wins it with that, then hats off. Davy Todd's coming back at him, though, on the exit. He's having none of that there, side by side on the exit of the Craig. Brilliant racing, Mark.
Oh, man, this is the only thing they could possibly do right now is just not make a mistake. That's the only thing they got to do. But that was cool. If you guys didn't see it, they were side by side going into Craig Nabaugh, and it was a outbreaking contest between two young guys, and that was really cool to watch.
In the meantime, approaching the Nook and about to come around to take the checkered flag. Our first rider across the line on Glen Crutchery Road is number 2, Dow Racing Kawasaki rider Dean Harrison comes across the line. Has he done enough for a podium? We'll keep our eyes pinned here on the rest of the pack. They'll be heading down now into the final sector. you're going to see Michael Dunlop, Peter Hickman and Davey Todd all together. And surely this is enough here for Peter Hickman to wrap up his second TT victory of the week. Can anyone else find the podium and also take a bow? Davey Todd as well. This could well be his first ever podium. Here they come then, onto Glen Crutchery Road right now in this RL360 Superstock 1000 race. We're just waiting patiently for them to come. They're through Governor's Dip right now and on to Glen Crutchery Road. It looks like your race winner is here, Peter Hickman. Of course, we'll wait for Connor Cummins as well. But give these guys a big round of applause. We don't know our podium yet. Here's Dunlop, Hickman and Todd over the line. Peter Hickman then has a 20-second advantage over Davey Todd as it stands.
We wait for Connor Cummins to complete the podium.
This is Ian Hutchinson. He comes across the line, followed by John McGuinness. They go 5th and 6th for now. We're waiting for, though, another Honda in the form of Connor Cummins. Here he is. Connor Cummins comes across the line and he's second. Connor Cummins takes second place, the Maxman, ahead of Davey Todd. The Padgett's riders have managed to go up 133.116 from Connor Cummins. What a stonking final lap.
17 minutes, 00.375. Nearly a sub-17 lap on the stocker for Connor Cummins. Absolutely blazed his way to second place. Overhauled Davey Todd, his own teammate. Second place for Connor.
Brilliant stuff for Connor Cummins, number 11, with his 11th TT podium. It is another win, though, for Peter Hickman on the Gas Monkey Garage by FHO Racing BMW. And they're now coming in to Park Ferme, Kinners.
Certainly is. Gets a massive, massive cheer. The Gas Monkey bike. He takes the win. Oh, here we go. Oh, hello. Oh, he's trying. Oh, Davey Todd shows him how to do it. Oh, yes. Connor, as casual as ever, just as a little rev to come in, and Dave puts the stand in the back. So the winning gap in the end, 12.7 seconds. The Padgett's boys, Connor gives Dave and the rest of the team a massive, massive hug. 133.116 on the last lap, Dave. Tell him that information. That's Connor, 133.116 last lap. He's just shook his head in absolutely disbelief. Clive Padgett comes in as well. Davey Todd in third place, 7 seconds back off Connor. That's put the smile back, I'm sure. That's his best ever TT lap. And let's get straight into this, man, if we can. Peter Hickman, another TT win, this time by 12.7 seconds on the Gas Monkey machine. Many congratulations.
Thanks, mate. Yeah. Again, bike worked faultlessly right from the start. Felt really comfortable. Gas Monkey BMW by FHO Racing. Just, yeah, team's absolutely brilliant. Bike's just working so good. Just makes my life easy, really. So, yeah, massive credit to the team. Great again. Faye's done two races and 2 wins.
That's all right. 2 out of 2 is not bad. And 132.27 last lap.
Yeah, I mean, I caught a big group. I actually followed McGuinness and Hutchie for a good few miles, and I knew I got a bit of time in hand, so I just kind of sat behind McGuinness and Hutchie and followed for a little bit. Davey was in front of them, and yeah, just had a good time actually following. I don't normally follow. I don't like to follow around here, and I just thought I would sit there and watch for a bit and quite enjoyed myself. It was good.
But you had to get past.
Yeah, towards the end, I saw that somebody was coming. I didn't know who it was. I knew Davey was in the mix because in the pit stop, the boys told me. I could see Davey ahead of me, so I knew it wasn't him. So I thought, right, the last few miles, I'll just put my head down again just to make sure. But
Connor was coming. He got it right down to 11 at one point.
Yeah, we're all right.
We're all right. Any moments out there? Pete tells about conditions. Perfect.
No, conditions are bang on. Loads of flies. Absolutely loads of flies today, but or this evening. But no, it's yeah, brilliant. Happy as.
What can you do to keep away from these guys, because they're going to be gunning for you now, and the rest of the big bike races especially, and even in the Supersport race and the Twins, every race apart from sidecars.
Exactly that. You know, all the boys are fast and they're keeping us honest all the time. I know a few people said we made it look easy Saturday, but I can tell you what, it definitely is not easy. I'm working my heart out to try and get this bike around here as fast as possible, and fortunately at the minute things are going our way.
Well done, Pete.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks very much. We'll grab a quick word of Faye if we can, then we'll get to Dave, who's just taken it all in. 2 out of 2 ain't bad, Faye. How is it?
Oh my God, yeah. No, I can't believe it. My first ever TT, and I got 2 wins now. It's just incredible. Yeah.
It is good stuff for you. I'll let you get into the team photo. Thanks,
All right.
Faye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And we'll grab word with Connor in a minute. He's just doing TV. But this young man right here, inside here for the first time, Davey Todd, I don't think you can believe this, can you?
No.
We have to turn around now for the photographers to keep them happy.
No, honestly, mate, I don't know what to say. Just after the morning that we've had and everything that's happened here, honestly, my head was away a little bit, and the whole team, the Malenko by Padgett team, just kept me on track, and so many people behind us. I can't thank everybody enough. Like, just so many awesome people, supporters, and just cheering me on and kept my head in it for this game. I tried to focus and just go back to enjoying it, because I didn't enjoy this morning one bit, and went back to enjoying it. And to get a podium here is it's a dream.
It's a turn right coming up this road. What was going through your mind? Did you know you were in third? Do you know it was close?
Yeah, I knew it was close. I seen a pit board that I knew. I think me, Connor, and Dean were really close. I didn't know it was Dean, but I knew a few of us were close there, and I just tried to get my head down and push that last half of the lap, and not make any mistakes or do anything silly. And I'm so happy to be up here.
Many thanks. After every you've been through, well done, Davey.
Thanks.
It is Davey Todd, and Connor Cummins is here. I will give Connor the details. Connor, just get in when he speaks to Davey. And Davey told you that lap, and you just shook your head in disbelief. That's your fastest ever TT lap.
Yeah.
On a stocker.
Yeah, on a stocker, yeah. But what a stocker is, I mean, bloody hell, the Padgett team are really, yeah, the amount of hours these guys have put in over winter to get these bikes to where they are now is incredible. And obviously the guys here working this week work really hard around the clock, late night finishes. Everyone back at Batley in the bike shop there working very hard. So big thanks to all those guys, and still to twist the throttle.
Tell you what, you didn't have twisted those last couple of laps. You were catching him. You got it down to about 11 seconds to your hometown at one point.
Yeah, out to Peter.
Out to Pete, yeah.
Yeah. Sure for me. Do you know what? I had don't know what happened at the start. The red light flashed. So when the flag dropped, the red light was already on the. So I was like, what do I do? Do I go? And your man waved me off. So I was on the back foot straight away. And then I got blocked in at my pit. I had to roll back, and it wasn't straightforward, but I worked my socks off as hard as I'd ridden the bike. Smooth, but I'm really happy the way I've ridden there. But yeah, big thanks to everyone on the team, and I'm really happy to be on the box again.
4 second places, 7 third places, and the first time on the Superstock podium since 2010 on the Kawasaki. Wow, 12 years ago. God, we're getting old, aren't we?
Yeah, there's a few more grey hairs up here.
Lots of kids.
Yeah. But no, that's the other thing. Big thanks to my family as well. They've had to listen to some rubbish from me over winter. But no, it's just, this makes it all worthwhile.
Good to see Clive with a smile back on his face as well.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you, Connor. Well done, son. Excellent stuff. And Clive, can we just grab a word? This makes up for it, doesn't it? And his fastest ever lap around the Alaman TT course. Wow.
133.1. Connor Cummins in a whole new bracket. Fantastic, guys. And what look at the way Davey rode, look at the way Connor rode. Stunning. The whole team's incredible. I can only thank all my mates that are in the team. Fastest bunch of mates in the world.
And what about Davey being turned in here for the first time? You've been in here many, many times, as has Connor. But David, the look on his face when he came in here, incredible.
Absolutely sensational. People are saying he hasn't won one yet. What? It's his third time here. Give the lad a chance. He hasn't raced here for 3 years. Absolutely incredible. The way he's taken to the mountain circuit is something else. He's also line third in the British Championship.
He is. He gets that in as well. Nice to see you guys. Well done, Clive.
Thank you so much, Chris.
You're very welcome. Let's get up to Beth, who's in the Park Fermi area. Beth.
It's actually Maria Costello.
Oh, Maria, sorry.
But I've stolen the microphone from her because I want to speak to John McGuinness. What was that, 102 starts?
Yeah, I can count to 2 after 100, aren't we? Not too bad. Yeah, 102nd start. What a beautiful evening. Nice to ride in condition, no sun. And was it a top 10?
9th place.
Yeah, pleased with that. I just rode, honestly, at the start line. It must have looked like I was up to the shop for a paper. I was really poor on the first lap.
I actually heard that you were struggling for some gears there as you got further down Bray.
Yeah, I missed a couple of gears and another go. I was like, I've ridden a motorbike before in my life, and then honestly, I was shocking on the first lap, and then woke up a little bit and Hutchie passed me. I enjoyed it, and I started riding a bit looser and hitting the spots, and I just thought, I haven't forgotten how to do it, and then went a little bit strong, good pit stop, and really enjoyed those last 2 laps. The first lap was really poor again, but I don't know, I've talked myself out of it a little bit, really, but yeah, it's another one down, 102 starts, like you say, and top 10 finish on a stocker. It's hard. Them bikes are hard, and the pace is insane. Them Hickey passed me on the last lap. I'm like, man's a hero. Yeah, he is another level at the minute, so fair play to him, and he looks really good on track as well. Yeah, Michael passed me, and Toddy passed me, and I was like, Hutchie passed me, but it was good to get on the track with him and just let go of the brake a little bit. I keep holding on to the brake and not leaning it over, and yeah, just got a little bit of mental block at the minute, but that got going a bit down the last lap, so happy with that.
I definitely don't think that's a mental block to be finishing in 9th place. Like you're saying, with all those incredible riders and the incredible lap times that they're doing, congratulations, John. Fantastic. And I think we'll go back to Chris.
No, not me. Yeah, let's hand back to Steve Day.
Yeah,
Steve.
thank you very much indeed. Wow, so many stories to take from that then. Peter Hickman winning again, and the Padgett's boys in there. Connor Cummins, delighted for him. What a lap that was. And as Clive Padgett says, we should not... I think a lot of hype has been put on Davey Todd's shoulders because of what he's done at British Championship, because of what he's done at the Northwest as well. But this is only his 3rd TT. That's the first of many podiums, you feel, Mark?
Yeah, for sure. It just everyone in the top 3 here just looks like there's just no drama. They're all calm. Everybody had a great 3 laps. It was easy to just lay it down, and everyone's excited that that they got it under the belt and they're all on the podium. It just doesn't seem like anyone's like too surprised.
We've got a couple of updates just to bring you. There was a black flag for Matt Stevenson. Brendan Cretu were retired at Crosby. Few riders are still coming across the line. Dom Herbertson finished in 8th, a lap of 128.8. I wonder if you're happy with that, mate. Down to Maria.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're here with Dom. We just want to hear what you thought of that.
To be honest, I'm absolutely over the bleeding moon that the sun's gone away, because for me that's ideal, just sporting a little bit of an injury here. But no, it was great. Obviously the organisers have worked the backsides off to get this event going, and at first everyone's a bit of on an adrenaline dump, as you know, Maria. Everyone's a little bit down and thinking, right, are we going to get going? We're going to get going. And the fact that we got going, over the moon, and to get another top 10, I'm over the bleeding moon. Like, how many times have I said bleeding moon? Yeah, I don't know.
Dom, 8th place, that's incredible. You're talking about your injury now. Have you talked much about that over the 2 weeks here at the TT?
I think all my friends are fed up of it, so I won't be seeing anything this time, no. So around about 8 weeks ago, I had a bit of a head injury, but I've it's more of an eye injury than anything, but the good thing is I've been medically signed off, so I've got no excuses, Maria. Get my finger out my backside.
Incredible ride, Dom. Congratulations. We'll hand back to you, Steve Day.
Thank you very much, Maria Costello. And thanks to Dom Herbertson as well. Always quite the character. Oh, we'll take a deep breath. We've seen 3 magnificent races so far here today. Just confirming then the top 10. It is Peter Hickman that wins from Connor Cummins, Davey Todd 3rd. Dean Harrison in 4th. Dunlop finished 5th in the end, with Jamie Coward in 6th. Ian Hutchinson was 7th ahead of Dom Herbertson, as we just heard. McGuinness 9th. Phil Crow in 10th, Boydie.
Let's take you a little bit further down in 11th. A fantastic finish for Nathan Harrison. And I think you had his lap time, Steve.
Yeah, that's a personal best, 127.554. So well done, Nathan.
Absolutely, his fastest ever lap of the TT course. In 12th place, Craig Neve on the BMW. In 13th, Michael Rutter. And in 14th, Brian McCormick, also both on BMWs. Paul Jordan finishes 15th on the Yamaha. Miko Sweeney, 16th. Mike Brown is 17th. Rob Hodson, 18th, Derek Shields 19th, and David Datzer gets himself a top 20. Fantastic result for him. Sam West 21st, Julian Trummer in 22nd, Stefano Benetti 23rd, Mikey Evans is showing at 24th at the moment. There are still finishes coming in, and Raul Torres Martinez in 25th. Still plenty more finishes behind that, but that's the top 25 of this RL360 Superstock TT.
That is a great result for David Datzer. He was a debut in 2019, 124.5 from him. Fair play. Milo Ward has finished his first ever Superstock race now as well.
Yeah, Milo, finished your first ever Superstock race, 31st place there. How are you feeling?
Yeah, happy enough. Like, I'll be honest, it's been the first All the other days when we did the first race on Superbikes, we'd sort of all been building up. We've had that day off. I've done nothing all day, whereas everyone else gone out. And the first lap, I felt so uncomfortable. Like my head was so out of touch with the speeds we were going at. So I just had to try and tell myself, calm down, just settle in. And then Mike Norbury came past, and I was just like, right, all right, jump on the back of him, bring ourselves up to speed. And then we started to really get up to speed and sort of let it flow and stuff. But by that point, I'd already ruined the rest of our race. But what beats? It's the best Monday you can have, isn't it? Out on here on the Isle of Man. So I'm still happy, buzzing. I'm just going to have a beer now and chillax.
Managed to get it together in the pit stop, do you think? Were you a bit more gathered for the second lap?
Yeah, definitely. I came into the pits and I think I was a bit flustered, and the team were like, right, calm it. These guys were just brilliant. They kept me down, kept me chill, and that was it then. We just headed back out, sort of tried to relax and just went for it. And yeah, thoroughly enjoyed myself. To be able to do sort of similar times to yesterday and feel like I was off the pace is a good sign for hopefully the race on Friday. But definitely, if we can get one of these warm-up laps that they've started doing in beforehand to sort of bring myself up to speed before, I think that's going to be really beneficial. So I'm going to go back and try and tell the team that's what I want to do now. Thank you.
Lovely to see you still smiling though, Milo, and enjoy your beer.
Thank you very much. I will.
Yeah, great stuff from Milo Ward. Just a reminder then, with that race concluded, tomorrow there isn't any racing. So our next scheduled start will be Wednesday, the 8th of June, with a solo warm-up lap at 10:30, followed by a sidecar shakedown lap. They get a lap in as well. Then it will be the Bennett Super Twin TT race, 4 laps coming up at 11:45, followed by the second Monster Energy Supersport TT race at race 2. And if the first one's anything to go by, we'll be up for that.
Yeah, let's just have a look at the weather forecast for Wednesday, because that could become a little bit more crucial. Rain at first on Wednesday, which will quickly clear, allowing brighter spells to develop, but with the risk of scattered showers during the afternoon. So we'll just have to see what Wednesday brings. News from race control is that the road's open car has already left St Ninians and is making its way around to out there. Do not move onto that closed road until the road's open car has passed your locations and the marshals have opened up the roads for you to proceed. Thank you very much.
Well, Davey Todd has made his way over towards the podium. Mark, you enjoyed the day here today. 3 great races you've seen.
Yeah, this has been amazing. I mean, they've been kind of like short and sweet. They're not the the long 6 lappers, but we've got some serious action in all of them, and it's been a real pleasure to to do it with you guys. And I can't wait till Wednesday.
It's been a pleasure to have you up here, Mark. I've got to say, Peter Hickman then makes his way over towards Park Fermi. Connor Cummins, the Manxman, fantastic result for him. He comes over to join his teammate here. They embrace just underneath the podium. They're going to get a big round of applause when they get invited up onto the podium. Peter Hickman then, that's now 17 podiums and 7 TT wins.
Indeed, that's 7 TT wins for Peter Hickman, 11th podium for Connor Cummins, and that all-important maiden podium for Davey Todd. He must be absolutely buzzing inside that Malenko by Honda levers. And let's get you down to Chris Kinley for the podium presentation.
Thank you very much to Chris Boyd. This is a presentation for the RL360 Superstock TT race. And could we please welcome up onto the podium to present the awards Charlie Warren from Hoxton Capital, who is a guest here of Royal London 360. Thank you, Charlie. Continue to thank Royal London